For once, maybe I'm practicing what I preach. Whenever there's fear of uncertainty, fear of anything, it's always good to take action. Action melts away the fear. So I took a few minutes to put this together to give you a little perspective of what I feel is happening right now and how we can adapt to it. It's time to adapt and then execute. Every major crisis, especially the two major ones that we've lived through in our lifetime, it first starts with shock. And I think, the first couple of weeks, what the heck's going on? I don't know that anyone really has their mind around what's going on. We've never really experienced anything like this. But from a business standpoint, it usually takes about a week or so to get over the shock, and then we start to adapt. And in that adaptation stage, slowly we begin piecing together a coherent, rational perspective of what's happening and how the new realities will irrevocably redefine our world in the near term. I've heard people talk about the restaurant business, where in the future, people are still going to social distance. They're still not going to want to go to a restaurant and be crowded. So restaurants may have to reconfigure their floor space, and they may only be able to get 60, 70, 80% of their occupancy that they used to have. So there's lots of things that are going to change. We talked with a lot of my clients about sanitation and disinfecting, and a lot of that's going to be the new norm going forward. So we begin then to start developing a strategy to adapt our business to seize the opportunities before us. Once we get that plan together, we get our strategies and our plans together, set our goals, our key results that we're going to look for, then we need to execute. And that, as I've always said, all the businesses I've ever seen or worked at, that is where we fall down. The businesses that are going to go out of business are not executing well. And so then we go to work. We're going to go to work and take that plan and start communicating relentlessly to our team, what the plan is, what our mission is, where we're going, to our customer base. We may invest in it and create some new products and services that will fit into the new world that we're in, and make sure that we've right-sided our expenses and our cash. Cash will become king going forward. The next thing is to scale or fail. It's simple. Inevitable reality that some businesses will begin to scale again in the back end of the crisis while others won't make it. Those who dig deep, invest, adapt, and execute will survive. Many won't. Your future's hanging in the balance right now, and I have a lot of confidence in the people that are out there that they'll put together a plan and then put together a way to execute that plan. The adaptation stage, immediately you had to change. Either maybe shut down your business, you maybe had to, or you're still in business, but you had to change your customer facing activities either way. You had government regulations that you had to put into place on how you were going to operate the business. Then now you're in a position probably where you're starting to think about the future, or you need to be. We got to see the opportunities. We got to sit down and think it through, develop strategies and a plan that will fit with the new reality coming out of this. We got to set key results, and it'll be different than in the past for at least the first couple of quarters, I think. I don't think we have any insight into numbers as far as dollars and revenue and those types of things. I think we got to set some key results based on the activity, the types of right things that we need to be doing to make sure that we're positioning ourselves for growth in the recovery of the economy in its entirety. But the next part, execution, I think the opportunity here is we kind of have a blank slate. And we've talked about how to execute in a business, how to follow up, how to execute, how to coach. Many businesses have put those practices in place and many haven't. But this is an opportunity to do that. That's where businesses always have and now will fail if they don't execute. You have the opportunity right now to identify the right things to work on and start doing them right. You need to change your language though and your focus. If you haven't been good at executing, if you haven't installed a coaching mentality and a leading mentality into your team, now's the time to do it. You need to develop the team, the right people, doing the right things right. But we need to do it with a team that can make decisions and are accountable for results. We always talk about delegation. Going forward, you can't do all this on your own. You're going to have to focus on your team. And instead of delegating it, tasks and delegating jobs and delegating projects, we need to learn how to delegate decision making so that people who work for us are accountable for the results because they're the ones making the decisions. We need to add more value to what we're doing to our customer base. We need to pursue that mission that we've put together. Get everybody on board. This is our mission. This is our just cause. This is where we're going. And then we need to look at cutting waste and watch our cash as we go forward. The last stage is scale and fail. Some of your competitors won't make it. I have a lot of faith that you will. You'll put a plan together with the strategies and tactics and rocks that need to be done, and you'll execute it. But it'll come down to the people that you have, your team that's working for you, and how you lead them. I want to talk a minute about the opportunity right now to start some new habits in a new language. This is a critical point. This is a great place to do that. I've told this story many times, but Paul Akers' 2-Second Lean told this story about our employees. And it was a retiree who was at the plant. He was retiring after 25 years. He had his friends on one side that he worked with, his peers, and then the suits were standing over there and gave him his gold watch and asked him to give a little speech. And he turned to the people that he worked with and he said, "Guys, you guys have supported me for 25 years. It's been a great relationship. Really enjoyed working with you guys. Thanks for all the support you've given me over the years." Then he turned to the suits and he said, "I want to thank you guys. You paid me really well for these." And he held up his hands. But then he pointed to his temple and he said, "But you could have had this for free, but you never asked." That's the key. We've got employees, we've got team members that are capable of making decisions, capable and want to be empowered. That's the whole concept of 2-Second Lean, was empowering employees to fix what bugs them, to see waste and fix it. You don't need to go ask people to do it. You know your job better than anybody. Where's the waste? Where's the time? Where's the motion? Where's the wasted, sitting around waiting on things? Where can we cut waste out of your job? Make it more enjoyable. That's what people want. And it's the best way to empower people, and it's the best way to lead a company that executes. So to start this out, we got to delegate decision making. In the whole history, the beliefs we have, that there's red work and blue work. The red work are the people that work with their hands on the computers or out in the plant or in the shop or wherever they are. They're doing the actual work. They're controlling the work. The blue workers are the suits. They're the ones that are making the decisions, setting the processes, and then having the red workers do it mindlessly. That's the way we've grown up. That's the way business has always been. But we got to get over that. And the author of Turn the Ship Around, who talked about don't answer any questions, he's written a new book, and he talked about working above the line versus below the line. Above the line means that I'm going to solve, I intend to do things. I'm going to make decisions. I'm going to get it done. I'm going to take ownership for this problem. Working below the line is where the victims live. We want to build a company where everyone is an owner, where everyone sees it, owns it, solves it, and does it. Versus below the line where there's a blame game. Cover your tail, wait and see if it solves itself. Confusion, tell me what to do. I got a question, tell me how to do this. It's not my job, that's somebody else's. Ignore and deny that, the problem even exists or this issue even exists. Finger pointing, cover your tail. We want to get people out of that working below the line. We want to use that language in our business from now on. Are you working below the line? I think you're working below the line on this issue. I think you need to be working above the line. We got to change the language we use, and we got to get everybody to understand the difference. So we have to change our language. It goes back again to not answering questions, to 2-Second Lean, but it's empowering people to make decisions. And then if they make the decisions, they're going to be accountable for the results of those decisions. And that's nirvana. That's where we want to get. So in the past, of course, people came in and asked questions, or we go into a meeting and we, the smartest guys in the room or smartest ladies, we say what we think, and then everybody kind of chimes in. Or if they come in and ask a question, we tell them what to do. It's easier, it's quicker, but they come in mindlessly. They don't learn anything. You tell them what to do. They walk out, and more important than anything, they're not accountable for the results. You told them what to do, and that's what's going to do it. So what we want to do is start using this language. When people come in and ask a question, well, what do you see? Because first of all, people have to see the waste. People have to see the problem. People have to see the opportunity. People have to see it first. So we don't tell them, we ask them, what do you see? Well, I see, this customer wants this today, and I'm going out this way, and I don't know whether to go by there first or go by what it's biggest problems to the littlest problems, right? So the next question for you is, well, what do you think? Well, I think that it's a problem, and I think that we need to, that this is a situation, and I understand why he needs this and he needs this, but, then what do you think you should do? Well, I think what I'll do is I should do this, and then I should go do that. Well, have you thought about this? Yeah, if I did that, then this would, well, what are you gonna do? And that gets them to finally do it. So they see it, they see the problem, they see the waste, they see the issue, they own it, they solve it, and they do it. Whether they're asking someone about a question or in a meeting, or they're just going through this in their mind, this is how they should take on problems and work above the line. So in summary, it's time to take action and adapt and plan. We want to lead with the new language we talked about. We want to excel at execution, and to excel at execution, we need to have the right people doing the right things right. And we need to start delegating the decision making and building a team that's accountable for results. We've tried that in the past with different ways. This new way of doing it is actually an easier way, but it requires you as the leader to change the language in your operation. Remember, what do you see? What do you think? What do you think you should do? What are you going to do? Want them to see the waste, see the problem, see the issue, own it, solve it, and then do it. With those 4 questions, you'll walk people through the decision-making process and they'll be more and more confident in their ability to make decisions, and your whole operation will execute better. I put together a series of short presentations for you and your team to follow that'll walk you through the planning process as well as how to really execute using this new language that I talked about briefly here.